Hey, this is KB. I'm a technologist, thought leader, and self-published author. I've been publishing ebooks, print books, audio, video, and other content online since 2015. I stumbled quite a bit, tried many different types of content, marketing strategies, software tools, and social media streams. Now I'm here to help you learn from my mistakes and find inspiration along the way. We'll take a journey together to leverage your content, dive into practical tips, and test out actionable strategies that move you from posts to profit. This is the Self-Pub Empire Podcast. Welcome back to KB Self-Pub Empire Podcast. I'm your host, KB. Today, we're going to talk about Discord. Not the state of mind, but the online platform. Something new to me, but perhaps not new to some of the authors out there. Discord really offers another way to connect with your fan base. For any creator, influencer, author, YouTuber, anything for online creativity, wanting to create a community. Some people use Facebook for that particular thing. Discord has its own advantages and a few pitfalls as well. So we're going to dive into that today, my friend. So I hope you join me here today to talk through Discord. So Discord, originally created for gamers, was beta released in 2015. So they released it to the public in 2015 for folks to get started using it. It's rapidly evolved into a versatile platform used by various communities. As of 2021, Discord boasts over 140 million monthly active users. That's from Statistica. And it is offered an untapped potential, really, for authors, it can be, to connect with your audience on a very personal level. And there's a wide variety of ways to do that. I have personally only seen one person so far, an author, using it in this respect, but I'm sure there's many more out there, and that would be author AFK, the great series in lit RPG genre that leverages it really very effectively with his fan base, for example. And so today, we're going to dive into Discord and see what that's all about and figure out maybe, can this be used for yourself? Hey, I want to tell you about something. Change the topic. I don't know about you, but I like things for free. And I put together a free guide to getting started on Kindle Direct Publishing. This guide is many pages of packed material for free for you to get started and writing your own book and using Kindle Direct Publishing to do it. There's a lot of tips and tricks that I jammed into this document. It's a free ebook, and you can find it on the website, selfpubempire.com/free. All you gotta do is put your email address in there, and we'll get you that free book as soon as we possibly can through the magic of the interwebs. And so I hope you enjoyed the free book. Please give it a try. I think you'll find out, judge for yourself, that it's very useful information. I've been publishing books in Kindle Direct Publishing for many years now. And I think this will help you because I ran into all kinds of pitfalls, and maybe I can help you avoid a few, and you can get your book out, your masterpiece, out to the public, out to your fans, and have something there that will be out on Amazon for the ages. And remember, with Kindle Direct Publishing, it's all print on demand. So there's absolutely no inventory needed, and Amazon will basically sell it for you. So go ahead, get out there, selfpubempire.com/free. And check it out. It's the first entry there for the free getting started with Kindle Direct Publishing. I hope you enjoy it. All right. Let's talk about Discord. So we're going to hit on really 4 topics here as we progress through our little discussion on Discord today. So number 1, we're going to talk about why Discord. Why should you use Discord? It might work for you. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But we'll talk through that and see maybe if this is something that could be helpful. Number 2, getting it set up. How do you really get going on Discord? It's actually really easy. It's surprisingly easy, almost too easy. Of course, the trick to getting set up is once you get that going, how to get people to join or go in. Well, of course, get in there and use it. Of course, there's some tips and tricks to that too, but that would be for number 3, our best practices for using Discord as your social online community. And finally, we're going to talk about measuring your success. What kind of measurements will Discord give you? They're adding more things all the time. And by the way, Discord is free, but they're adding more metrics into Discord so you can start measuring what works and what doesn't work. What kind of engagement do you really get? So it's completely free, and setting it up is pretty easy. So let's get to it. So could this be a distraction for you, or could it really be a great way to grow a community around your content? Authors, YouTubers, influencers, content creators really of any kind, podcasters even for that matter. I have a Discord server myself, link in the show notes. You can check it out and maybe join me there, as I'll be checking it on a regular basis to see if I can figure out how to make it work. But number one, as we figure out Discord, why would you use Discord? It's unlike traditional social media platforms. It has some interesting advantages that are different than other platforms. I mentioned Facebook as by way of example for a Facebook page or Facebook community. But here in Discord, in this end of the spectrum, it really was started up with gamers in mind and Twitch streamers and things like that. So first and foremost, it has real-time interaction. So engaging with fans in real time through text or voice channels is actually really easy in Discord. That was really their use case right at the beginning, was to use real-time voice and chat. Number two, community building. So you can create really dedicated spaces for discussions about your books, for example. Each book could have its own space, potentially, for that discussion, or one big discussion for everything. So there's a lot of ways to organize that, and you have to kind of think it through. Number three, there's a way in Discord that you can allow for exclusive content. You can share sneak peeks and other interesting things, or previews of books or chapters of your books, to really to keep your fan base and your readers engaged. So people who are on Discord, then they get to see some things that other people might not. So they're going to feel much more close to their content creator or author and really be much more engaged. Event hosting is the other interesting thing that's useful in Discord that's different than other platforms. So an event can be done through Discord because you can use it as a live platform to, say, organize a live reading perhaps of one of the chapters of your books. You can talk through question and answer sessions about your books, and you can start announcing book launches or releasing different information about your book and having those things as an event and say, hey, I'm going to run a little Q&A on my new book, The Secrets of Online Self-Publishing, for example. I don't know. I'll come up with that later. But I believe that you understand and get what I'm saying about event hosting because it's a real-time platform, text and voice chat. All right. So if you're convinced that Discord isn't a distraction for you, and really it actually is going to be useful for you, how do you get going? So getting set up is actually very, very easy. How do you get started? Well, you want to think through a little bit of what Discord does. It can be a little confusing to start off with. So everything in Discord is set up. There's a social hub, right? Really what you're trying to understand to get to. You're creating a social hub that's organized really into invitation-only spaces called a server. So servers are the vernacular that Discord uses for your social space, and you can request people to join, but people can actually ask to join if you set it up right in the correct ways to do that, and then they can say, hey, can I join? And then they can agree to the rules. I hope you have rules, and they can join the live conversation. So first things first, you also have to remember that in a server, there's a text and voice channel way to collaborate. So there's ways to do that. So you can create multiple text channels and multiple voice channels. So what does that really mean? Well, of course, a text channel, all it is just obviously text chat kind of a thing. It's a live chat, so you can go back and forth. Voice is just that. You can do voice channels, and you can control what the audio sounds like from a volume perspective, or if people are automatically muted, they can't talk, they can only listen. So you can kind of host those things that way. So you really want to create your channels wisely when you get going on this. Use the text channels for different topics. Like there's a general chat, maybe a book discussion or a specific book that you want to talk about, those kinds of things. Voice channels can be used for those live events or for casual hangouts to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to be online, chat with me or talk with me, ask me some questions at such and such time, and then you can have people in that voice channel actually ask you questions and you can interact with them. So you want to use those judiciously and figure out which one works the best for you. The second thing you want to think about when you're getting set up is you want to make sure that you're moderated somehow, that you have some kind of moderation. So you really want to appoint, maybe not to have to do it yourself, appoint some trusted fans as moderators to maintain order and manage interactions. Of course, you want your spaces to be very safe spaces, and you don't want a bunch of trolls running around in your Discord server and making people uncomfortable or unhappy. And you certainly don't want to do that. So that's important to make sure that you have that out there as well. Number 3, you want to engage regularly. You want to jump in there, be active in the conversations, show genuine interest in what your fans have to say. Find out what they want to hear about for your main character or whatever it is that you're generating. And those are really great ways to talk to fans. That's very different than other forms of social media. All right, so once you get set up, number 3, really, what are the best practices? How do you really approach this outside of the channel setup to make sure that things are working well and it works and you're leveraging it for your intentions of what it is you're trying to do? Again, not sure if Discord is right for you, but you could always try it since it's free and see if it makes sense. And then you can always shut it down if you don't like it. But here are some of the best practices to maybe help you get to that space where you're leveraging it and using it effectively to create a much larger fan base for yourself. And usually fan base means more posts and more profits, but we'll get to that later. Exclusive access, first and foremost. One of the things you can do is you can create roles in Discord for fans or people, subscribers, or contributors. And so that's extremely powerful if you do it right. It's kind of like having a website with membership levels and things like that, and allowing, but more to the point where you can allow them to do certain things. You can offer some special roles or private channels for subscribers or top contributors. And you can actually do that through Discord. And so the super fan channel can be something special for people who have read all your books or whatever it is that you want to set it up for. 2, another best practice is if you want to have, of course, interactive content, you want to have regular events. We've talked about this a little bit already. You want to have but some ideas for this would be some writing prompts, maybe some fan art contests, or some trivia nights. I like the idea of trivia nights personally, related to your books or your content or whatever it is that you're out there with. And you can maybe do those things as interactive content. Kind of nice. Q&A sessions, things like that. Another best practice to consider is having a feedback loop of some kind. This is allowing you, a Discord server allows you a feedback loop. So you can use polls and surveys within the server to get feedback on maybe upcoming projects or ideas that you have, and find out from your fans, what do they really want to see? What do they want to hear about? What is from a writing perspective, what do they want to read? What do they want the main character to do? Or what would they find interesting? And you can put those right in there in the Discord server and get that feedback immediately. There's very few things out there that allow you to do that, especially if you have a pretty good fan base already on Discord. Once you start building that up, again, building that up, that's a whole nother thing, completely separate from this, but that's a whole other podcast of online marketing that I don't think many people touch on at all, is online marketing using or getting fans to Discord. But then those pieces of feedback allow you to provide better content, right? So that gives you really what you want there. So you really want that to provide better content for your fans and, of course, make more money. 4th best practice, collaborations. So this I thought was a very interesting when I was seeing folks do this, in particular, partnering with other authors or creators to host a joint event. Now, this isn't a new concept. This really can attract more members, of course. But as it's not really a new concept, certainly that you can be interviewed in other podcasts, for example, or guest on something, or work with someone, or say, hey, we're going to collaborate to create some kind of thing together. Those things actually do happen a lot. Actually, Hollywood's been really, really good at that for many, many years. Crossovers, advertisements with influencers and celebrities, but those collaborations can be really powerful because you both leverage each other's fan bases and therefore get even double the amount potentially of eyeballs on whatever it is that you're doing. So you can actually do that through Discord. That's a little more generic. Other ways can be done with social media. You can do it in other ways as well. But Discord's a very powerful way to do that. And certainly having a guest discussion kind of a thing works pretty well. All right. So moving on to measuring your success with Discord. The quote says, "What gets measured gets managed." This is usually attributed to Peter Drucker, who wrote a ton of books on business in general and different kinds of business. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but certainly you want to start to measure and make sure that you understand what your numbers are as far as different things. And there's metrics, and that's a whole nother podcast discussion that I'll save for another time. But it's nice with Discord, they've added metrics in. They've got some built-in analytics tools. And it's nice to be able to measure your social media impact and really get an idea of what is working and what is not. And then you can leverage or invest more time into the things that make the most sense or have the most impact. So Discord has some built-in analytics tools to really track those engagement levels. Those are relatively new. You can monitor which channels are the most active. So if you divide, if you divide your channels up the right way, so you know what pieces of information or what focuses on which channels, you get a feel for what people are most interested in. And you can track participation during those live events. You can understand how many people are there and paying attention. That's very powerful. If it's a topic people really like, then they're going to have high participation level, and you may want to leverage that a little bit higher. And then, of course, you can adjust your strategies based on these insights or better cater to your audience preferences. So it's a double whammy in Discord, which is different than some of the social media outlets out there in that you can directly see what people are talking about relative to your content, and you can measure that directly with engagement levels in the analytics. So you can really understand where the focus is from what your fans like. So there you go. You get to measure your success that way. So getting set up on a Discord server, very simple to do. Doing it right probably takes a little bit of effort. And I would encourage you to look at someone else's Discord and see how they're using it, if at all possible. If they can find one that is a more public one for an author that has one out there, or a content creator that has one out there for that information, for that engagement level. I think gamers use it more often than other folks as well. So there may be some Twitch streamers out there that you might want to check out and see how that engagement is being done on that platform with those folks, and get some ideas on how they use it and what it is. It really depends on your kind of content, your types of books, the types of topics you want, and your fans, and whether or not you can use Discord effectively or organize it the right way. Just takes a little bit of organization. But again, it's free, it's fast, it's high quality, and it's kind of fun too. There's icons and emojis and all kinds of things built right into it that you don't necessarily see in other social media platforms in such a real-time interactive way. So it really represents a powerful tool potentially for self-published authors or content creators really looking to deepen their connection with their readers and their fans and start expanding their reach organically. So if you get this interactive community space going where you're fostering your fans so that they can feel valued and heard, you get to boost your engagement, but you really also create those loyal advocates for your work. And of course, as many marketers know, word of mouth is the most powerful advertising you can get. So hey, why don't you let everybody else know about how you've been listening to the Self-Pub Empire podcast, and you're getting a lot of value from what I've been saying. I hope I'm helping. So doing that would be great, and I would really appreciate it. And maybe together, as we keep going, you and I, we can move from posts to profits. Thanks for listening to another KB Self-Pub Empire podcast. Have a great one, and I hope to see you again soon. Hey, congratulations. You just listened to another episode of the Self Pub Empire podcast. I really hope you found something inspiring, useful, and actionable for your own entrepreneurial and business aspirations. Let's keep connecting as solopreneurs, authors, and online creators of all kinds. For more information, how-tos, great tools, and show notes for the show, head over to selfpubempire.com/podcast. Until next time, let's continue moving from posts to profit.